Kyle Irvin watching the program, the communications director, Charlottesville Police Department.
Hey, Kyle.
Kyle, we love you, man. What you are doing is yeoman's work. You are fantastic at your job, Kyle Irvin. Charlottesville Police Department, fortunate to have you. And you and Chief Kachis and the entire department, wow, you guys have done some amazing work.
Staying asleep is now, that's the trick.
When you go to bed, Kyle, what time do you go to bed? Let us know. Viewers and listeners, give the show a like and a share anywhere you are watching. We have a lot to be thankful for. I started the program by saying this morning I had our nearly 6-year-old in one arm and our nearly 1-year-old in one arm. I was holding both my boys. My wife took a picture of us. And at that moment, I was like, you know what? Things are good. Things are absolutely really good. I'm excited to connect with one of my inner circle friends in Keith Smith today.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Me too, man.
Yeah. It was. We got a little bit of a late start. That's on Smith's side. Today was, and I want to give a shout out to the folks at the VA medical system. You know, for years they caught a bunch of you know what, but I'm going to start off by saying I'm thankful for the VA medical system. I had my monthly appointments and blood work and all that fun stuff at 7 o'clock in the morning, and they were there at 0700 and taking care of me and put me through my paces for a couple hours. So I'm going to start off, I'm thankful for them.
There you go. Kyle says he goes to bed around 11 o'clock each night. Kyle, good people.
My first wake up is at 11.
His first, is that to go pee?
Yeah, actually.
He goes pee at 11. There you go. That's what we have to look forward to there, Kyle Irvin. All right, Judah Wickower, we can rock and roll when you're ready.
Quiet on the set.
Good Wednesday morning, guys. My name is Jerry Miller, and this is Real Talk with Keith Smith. Thank you kindly for joining us the day before Thanksgiving, one of my favorite holidays, a holiday that's about friends and family and love, a holiday that's sans gifts, and it's really about just spending good times with good people and people you care about. And that's what makes Thanksgiving so very, very special. And hey, the food doesn't hurt either, does it? Judah Wickower, our director, Keith Smith, the star of our program. Judah, if you could go to the studio camera, then the two-shot, and welcome the distinguished gentleman to the program. And look at that, Keith. Judah's got the microphone in front of him.
I was just thinking that.
He's ready to rock and roll. He's in jolly spirits.
And we made him laugh already.
I know.
Before in our pre-production meeting, which is, you know, if you can get Judah to chuckle,
it's funny.
I write it down.
I know. It's funny.
I
sincerely mean that as well.
I honestly didn't do it, and I can't remember what the heck I said. So whatever I said, I've got to remember it so I can make him chuckle. But look, you know, today, day before Thanksgiving, gobble gobble. You know, I kicked in our run up to the cameras going hot. You know, I was giving my first shout out of thanks to the VA medical system and a shout out to the vets that aren't going to be home, or the first folks that are currently serving our country overseas that aren't going to be home for Thanksgiving. Keep them in your thoughts and prayers. You know, they definitely need it and deserve it. But I just wanted to talk about and throw it out in the world, you know, what everybody is thankful for. You know, we talk about inventory, we talk about no inventory, we talk about interest rates and no interest rates, and, you know, what is everybody thankful for at this point? You know, and maybe something a little bit different than, I don't mean to be diminishing it, than, you know, family and friends and all that stuff. Something other than that, what are you thankful for? So something other than family and me, of course.
Of course I was going to say you. I'm thankful for Keith. That's the first thing I was going to say.
No. Yeah. I lie for a living. Nice job, though. Nice job. No, seriously, what other than your family and all this stuff, what are you thankful for?
I'm thankful for this community.
There you go.
I'm thankful for the Charlottesville and Albemarle County and Central Virginia communities. I'm thankful for the opportunity to connect with so many people talking about Charlottesville and Albemarle and Central Virginia and the many different layers to the onions. And, you know, we talk about stuff that is real and
And
raw
hard.
and honest and difficult
It's
and
hard.
challenging. And
hard.
you know, we go about this show not trying to do kumbaya and make friends with everything we discuss, but we go about this show from places of honesty and places of like doing what's best for the community in the big picture. And sometimes sometimes there is friction and challenges in the short term to get to where you want long term.
And
I learned this from someone that I have tremendous respect for. Doing the right thing is not usually the easy way.
well, it's never the
It's often the hard way.
Yeah, I mean, regardless of what the topic is, running a marathon is not an easy thing to do, right? It takes a lot of commitment and training, and you don't have to run it at Olympian or world pace. Just finishing it takes a lot of commitment and planning. I'll tell you, part of what I'm thankful for is what we've been doing here in my particular world for the last, God, what are we on, 5 years now?
Oh yeah,
And I'm thankful that I think I'm getting a little better at this.
Oh, dude,
Who knows?
You're a natural.
Well, I don't know, but I'm a natural something. I don't know about this. But it really makes me better at how I serve people. And because I have to, I've said this a couple of times before, because I have to be Johnny on the spot. It's helped me learn how to communicate with people and how to have conversations with them that maybe are difficult, that I know are difficult, and able to communicate people in a way maybe they understand it instead of me. But I'm thankful to all the people that watch and listen to this show, Real Talk with Keith Smith. I really am. Thank you for my partners, because without them I wouldn't be doing this. But this really makes me better at serving others every day, and I'm super thankful for that. So that other than the family and the health is a little challenging right now, and we're getting through that. But I'm thankful for what we do and how we connect with people. I also understand the awesome responsibility that it brings on.
Oh my goodness gracious! I mean,
that was shocking to me. I didn't expect to have that hit me 4.5 years ago.
I mean, it's a responsibility we don't take lightly. With a viewership and platform of this reach, we don't take it lightly. Kyle Irvin says, "I'm thankful for life lessons and nature, and the nature that allows you to reset and reconnect with your human self side from all the noise and struggles of today's world." Kyle, that's beautiful.
So, Kyle, what are you most thankful for being part of city of Charlottesville in the area? What do you like the most, or what do you find the most thankful that you are for in the Charlottesville area? I've got some thoughts on it. I'd love to hear what some of the viewers and the listeners are. Why are they thankful for here? We've got some tough stuff in front of us, and some tough stuff that's going on right now, from schools to rezoning and all that stuff.
Gracious.
But putting that aside, what are we thankful for living in this particular area? I know what I am.
Judah, we want you to jump in the mix on what you're thankful for. Why don't we start with Judah, and then we'll go with Kyle. We'll get to Grayson. We'll get to Miguel. We'll get to Steven here.
You can always start with me.
Judah Wickhauer, my
Actually,
friend.
you can be thankful for Yona with the cookies.
Oh, yeah.
Judah, I'm curious. Judah and I have worked alongside each other. Did we decide if it was 12 or 13 years? I mean, it's either over 12 or over 13 years.
I'm pretty sure it's over 12.
Over 12 years?
Yeah.
Okay, over 12 years. What are you thankful for? Obviously you don't have to say this fantastic work environment and the fact that we always get along and there's no bickering and it's reasonable work expectations and the fact
there's
that we're
one
not
thing
working
that
long
Judah
hours.
is a liar.
No. I think when the grand scheme
I
of
don't even
things-
think there's any white lying in that man's.
Well, I'll say this, and then we'll throw it to Judah. I heard this. I'm hearing this more and more, and I'm sincere with what I'm about to say to you. I'm hearing this from a lot of people. What you and I are doing with our 12:30 I Love Seville show, and how you've been blossoming with your commentary and the perspective that you share on the program, from where you started to where you are now. I mean, I hear from a number of folks that
That's a difficult position for him to be in.
I mean,
That's a difficult
I would say,
position.
Judah, you're an introverted guy.
I'm definitely an introverted guy.
He's an introverted guy. And when we do this talk show in the 5 days a week, he is asked, encouraged, pushed, maybe his arm is twisted to
Judah, I get it.
offer some very vocal commentary in front of a lot of folks. And I'm hearing more and more and more and more from people that the commentary that you offered is not only valued and well received, but it's commentary that people want to hear and look forward to listening to as they make it appointment television or appointment content. I really sincerely mean that. So I'm thankful for you.
Well, thank you, and I appreciate that. And I think a lot of that is due to you, and I'm thankful and appreciate you because, yeah, I am introverted. I work better in a discussion, in an environment where we're trading ideas and thoughts, and so when you make that environment inviting enough for me to open up, I think it's better for the show, and so I appreciate you providing that space.
Thank you. How about things that you're grateful for? This man's hopping on an airplane tomorrow. He's being wearing the crown or the hat of best uncle potentially in the country, literally flying.
And may re-gift a couple of cookies.
I think he's going to do that. I mean, I think he is literally going to do that.
Next time I've got to put Yes Realty Partners on the cookies instead of that so we can't re-gift
Judah's
them.
flying to California on Thanksgiving Day to hang out with his sisters and his niece.
Yep.
Travel is a pain in the tail. I think we all can agree to that, especially
No
on
doubt.
a holiday, and
Yep.
especially for a short window of less than 3 days to go cross country. 3 days?
Let's see, fly on Thursday, spend Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then fly back.
I know, okay. But you're doing it for family.
And
So that's something you do when you're younger and don't have a lot of little people that you have to take care of?
He is doing it for a little person.
No, but he's not bringing little people.
Oh, I don't think he
Yeah.
could do that if
No,
he had little
no,
people.
no.
my sister is also wrangling us into another photo shoot. I think the second this year.
Wow.
Is it? It might be. So we've been getting color advice.
Getting your hair colored? I noticed
No.
it looked a little darker.
No, color advice on what to wear from
Oh, yeah, you're getting-
from the photographer on a
Clothing attire?
yeah.
That's
on
a tough job being a photographer.
Oh,
that is
no
a
doubt.
tough job. You got to wrangle everybody up. I got to tell you, I'm having a little bit of a shock here. At the
Woody
moment.
Fincham says, I'm thankful for the UVA Oncology Center.
There
They
you go.
did right by Mrs. Fincham.
There you go.
Woody Fincham, we're thankful for you. We're thankful for the
Amen.
vulnerability of the comment you just shared. We wish you and your beautiful wife nothing but the best. You see what love is when you see the Finchams in action, for sure. Woody, thank you for that comment. Kevin Higgins, who's watching in Greenville, Greenwood.
I second his comment because my mom got some help there.
Okay, fantastic. Is everything good?
And
Yeah. This was a few years ago. She had, I think it was a tumor in her nose, and so it required removal and some plastic surgery. I don't think she was ever in serious danger, praise the Lord, but they did an amazing job.
so one of the reasons I'm thankful for this region, we not bash on UVA, but UVA is this 10-ton elephant in the room, right?
UVA is easy to pick on.
Because it's the 10-ton elephant, right?
But the reality is we're great. We're so lucky to have UVA.
Well, if UVA wasn't here, we wouldn't be here. So.
Exactly right.
But I also am in the middle because the VA, since I'm so far away from the closest VA hospital, all my work is done at UVA. So that's 3 people that are thankful for the UVA oncology department because that's kind of where I do my blood work and it all ends up over there. So that's part of the reason a lot of people are thankful about this. It's part of the problem or part of the struggle why we have a 30% increase in price since 2020 until now, and we have a 67% decrease in the amount on market. But as you guys were chatting, I just opened up my Paragon for the first time this morning. 7 days back from today, 27 new homes came on the market. Put that in perspective. Because, again, I'm thankful for Jerry teaching me how to take pictures and do all
You're
this
welcome,
stuff
Keith.
and date them. November, the same Thanksgiving, the same Wednesday before Thanksgiving in 21, it was 82 homes. The same Thanksgiving in 22 was 64. So we went from 82 3 years ago, 82 homes on the market new, to 64 to now 27. And I sent you an article that we are
I'll see if I can find it.
at our 10-year low.
I think it was 13.
13, I apologize.
Yeah.
13-year low in inventory. That being said, what goes down comes up, and I do.
We hope.
No, well, unless it's a lead ball instead of a rubber ball. But at the moment, I've got a Anybody here know what a Spalding ball is?
A Spalding?
A Spalding ball?
I don't know what a Spalding ball
Yeah,
is.
so it's a New York thing. You would play stoop ball and stick ball in the street with it. It's a little red rubber ball, and you would steal your mother's mop and cut the handle off of the mop, and you would use it to play stick ball in the street. You guys never lived.
No, we since we didn't play stickball in the street, we've never lived.
No, I'm only kidding.
I'm
only kidding.
I bet you guys never played the kind of handball I played in Los Angeles as a kid.
Oh, I don't
Please
know
let
about
us know.
that.
I played a lot of handball, my friend.
This wasn't.
This
This
man's
was.
on a handball soapbox over here.
You remember
But was it a handball and a handball court?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so
I played on a handball court and handball just on a wall behind a building.
we would play in alleys.
Yeah.
And
With like a racket ball,
no.
something that bounces. Yeah, it sounds like you play with a Spalding ball.
a little round red. It's probably the same ball that you use. Probably not. It's softer. You can use it for a handball. But we would play in alleys, and you would play off both walls,
Oh, yeah.
right?
We would play that
and then
way.
you had to dodge the rats
Oh, okay.
and
Jeez Louise.
and stuff, and the gang members coming through.
Okay, this is a little different.
Yeah, a little different.
How big were the rats you were dodging? Size of kitty cats?
I believe they were small dogs.
The rats were small dogs. Kevin Higgins, and we'll go to judo.
The rats
with-
would look. The rats would look at you, and go, "Your game sucks."
Oh, man, there you go. That
Keep
sounds
on
terrifying.
going.
Kevin Higgins says, I'm thankful for the I Love Seville network.
There you go.
You guys provide a utility to empower the uninformed, and it makes Charlottesville a better community. That's kind words there from
Look at those big words that he's
the
using.
mayor of Greenwood, dropping knowledge over here. Judah Wickhauer, your handball variation.
So, does anybody remember the larger red balls? They were probably.
Oh yeah. You would use for dodgeball.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
We used those for that was our
This is
handball.
old guy stuff.
And we had big walls.
Yeah.
Just a wall that was standing.
You played handball with a
standing
dodgeball.
in the center of the schoolyard on blacktop, and it was like probably 12 or 15 feet tall, 12 or 15 feet wide, just a wall standing there, and then you had like lines drawn on either side, so you had like one court on one side, one court on the other, and we'd play handball.
That
That
sounds
was our,
fun.
That was our handball. Yeah, it was a blast.
I'd play for handball right now.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Since November 21 to this week, it's a 67% drop
Oof.
in new homes on the market week over week. That comparing the week of Thanksgiving in November 21 to Thanksgiving this Wednesday, it dropped from 82 to 27, which is 55 units at 67%, negative 67%.
Bill McChesney watching the program.
Hey,
He
Bill.
says, I'm thankful for all my Martha Jefferson physicians and their staff that have kept me alive for the last 6 years. Colon
There you go, Bill.
cancer
Amen,
and
brother.
getting scoped.
Yeah, there you go.
Bill McChesney, respect for that.
But-
Judah, if you put a lower third on screen, maybe the top line says, what are you thankful for? Question mark. Or viewers, comma, what are you thankful for? Question mark. And then the bottom line, put your comments in the feed and we'll relay them live on air. That would be great. A little call to action. Keith Smith,
Yeah.
show is yours.
Yeah. So, look.
Oh, we'll get to the Neil Williamson. We talked about this on the I Love Seville show, the SevilleHousingForAll.com website. This came up last week on the show, which was authorized and paid for by the Charlottesville Area Association of Realtors. We will get to that website in a matter of moments. We talked about that. I offered about 20 minutes of commentary last week on that. But Keith, go ahead.
Yeah, so there you go. Thankful for Neil, right? So we live in a town, in an area that really is unusual. That a lot of people are engaged. It may not look like it, but a lot of folk. But I think compared to most areas, and I hear this because I'm fortunate enough to travel and speak in different places around the country, particularly on this housing affordability, whatever topic, housing related items. And when you start talking about you're from Charlottesville and all that stuff, you hear that we are engaged, right? For the size of the area that we are, percentage-wise, I think, and Neil might disagree with this, we are engaged pretty effectively in it. In the community. So I'm thankful for Neil, man, because, for those of us who can't attend the meetings, he does it on our behalf, and you follow him.
Jamie Turner watching the program, repping the PEP, the mayor of Gordonsville. Happy Thanksgiving, gentlemen. I'm thankful I bought my 2 houses at a 3% rate when I did. Jamie Turner, you're sitting on stacks.
Man.
I'll do this for Jamie Turner, and he'll appreciate what I'm doing right now. Jamie Turner, you undoubtedly are sitting on stacks, my friend, undoubtedly.
He is, but he's in a great position right now. So yesterday and this afternoon, Yona and I hand out pies to all our clients. So I'm wandering around talking to our clients, which is a great opportunity.
Like a Thanksgiving Santa Claus.
Well, I'm thankful for that because I get to reconnect on a one-to-one.
Someone tagged you in a Facebook post.
Face to face and reconnect with folks and talk about all that stuff. I'm going to push back a little bit on the mayor, right? And you kind of knew I was going to do that. A lot of the conversations I'm having with people that are at this 3%, we brought it up a couple of hundred times, is that they're panicking because they don't know what to do, right? Because they have to move, right? If you don't have to move, this is great. Now,
Jamie Turner's got a beautiful wife, a newly born daughter, and I have a feeling that he's set with these 2 houses for a very long time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But for the person that has to move, this 3% has been a bit of a golden handcuffs. We're able to get them a lot of money, right, from the sale.
There's opportunities to work around that.
There's opportunities to work around that, but when you only have 27 houses to buy, one of my clients that I handed a pie to, and this is why you do this, says, you know what, we're ready to sell our house and buy something in Crozet and Ivy. I said, great, let's sit down and look what's available.
Well, here's your pie.
Here's your pie. I'll be more than happy to help you eat it.
Absolutely.
Here's your pie. So and they can afford the pay, right? And we looked at it, but we mapped out a plan. I can't give out names. We mapped out a plan because the home that they own closer to Charlottesville is fully owned. It's paid outright. And literally, it's a conversation. It's just a weird conversation to have. They were like, "Oh, shucks, I should have never paid my house off because they don't have any write-offs now. They're making too much money." The wife actually stopped working because this is a weird conversation.
There's pros and cons to both sides.
It is. But so now what they want to do, which I think is we mapped out a plan, they'll keep that home rented for a substantial amount of money, and then they're gonna buy and use whatever income they're pulling off of House A to help offset. Talk about ways around it to offset the extra expense for the home that we're looking at in Crozet and Ivy, which is substantially more expensive. But they're gonna actually get back to a monthly payment that is manageable because House A is paid off. They're receiving many thousands of dollars. They will receive many thousands of dollars a month in rent. They'll carve off a piece of that to go ahead and help offset the expense of the 7.25, whatever they're going to do on their house to buy. So to your point, why you need a trusted advisor, why you need somebody on your ballpark as a buyer's agent, because you have to help navigate these struggles because they're highly educated. They're both PhDs, right? They're pretty smart folks, but couldn't figure out how to navigate this, and I had a pie with them. So
there you go. Jamie Turner says, yep, we're set forever with these 2 houses. But Keith makes a great point. What worries me potentially is values going down. I don't see that happening, but it is a worry of mine.
Yeah, so I don't...
Kevin, we'll get to your comment here. Grayson, your comment. Laura will get to your comment. Spencer will get to your comment. Bill will get to your comment. Lisa Costello, welcome to the program. Ray Cadell, Heather Walker, Johnson Village's finest. Juan Sarmiento, Que Pasa Chico. Go ahead, Keith.
So back to the mayor's comment. Look, this runway, this runway of lack of inventory, we're going to be this way to the end of this decade. There's no doubt in my mind about that. So Jamie's a smart guy, smart family. I'm sure they're going to pay their principals down, if not already, down to a certain point that even if the prices stabilize, and I just don't see them going backwards. We're so short on supply. I just don't see it happening. You're going to do great. You're going to walk away with, what do we call it? Stacks of cash?
Stacks of paper.
Stacks of paper.
Sitting on stacks, baby.
To go ahead and do that. So I really, and I'm not saying that just because this is what I do for a living. I honestly believe this, that we're not going to go backwards. It's going to be interesting. I'm going to jump around with you on the 1st of December. Woody's going to sit here, and
love Woody Fincham.
We already almost got our November numbers done. So we released our October numbers.
Where are the quarterly reports for our area association? Have the reports come out?
So we got our October number. I'm going to skip over that, Mr. Miller. You're trying to get me into trouble.
Oh, God.
And so our October numbers we put out the first couple of days in November. On December 1, we're going to put out our November numbers. We looked at October. October was down 20%. October over October from 2020 to now. I think you're going to see this is even going to get worse. But I really believe, beginning of the year, based on the vibe and the conversations we're having, I think you're going to start seeing a bit of an uptick in inventory. It's so damn anemic. A slight uptick is really not going to make much of a dent in the inventory, but I think you're going to start seeing people starting to put their homes on the market. I know for sure, and the coffee's kicking in.
I see that.
The buyer inventory, the buyer conversations are off the charts. I've never been so busy about buyer conversations as I've had in a long time. And everybody is like, okay, talk to me about the market. Talk to me about where it's going. When is a good time to buy? And the answer always is, if you're ready, willing, and able to do it, now's the right time to buy. And by the way, I don't want to jinx myself. I'm going to let it go. But I actually might be able to prove the conversation we had, what the hell's today, Wednesday? That we had on Monday. That one could potentially close by the end of the year. Don't want to jinx myself.
If you close,
I don't want to jinx myself.
Are you under contract?
Like I said, I don't want to jinx myself.
You don't want to jinx yourself here. This is a little zing.
I tend to do that. Then,
Kevin Yancey zinging Keith a little bit.
Hey.
Kevin Yancey in Waynesboro says, good morning and happy Thanksgiving Eve, gentlemen. We love you very much and appreciate the show. On this particular morning, it looks like Judah Wickower did Keith Smith's hair.
Oh, dude, really?
It's interesting that you brought that up, Kevin Yancey, because this morning I gave Keith props on the hair with the windswept look. He's literally got no spray, no pomade in today.
This is the first show that I've never done.
No spray, no pomade. First show ever, right?
Are you saying I'm a bad hairstylist?
No. I think what he's saying is you guys have similar hairstyles today. Kevin, is that what you're saying? You have similar
Thanks,
hairstyles?
Kevin.
And the very intriguing aspect
Love
of
you,
Kevin talking about hair is Keith and I may be two of the most vain people when it comes to our hair.
Just the hair, huh?
Okay.
Just the hair.
Right. Hey,
it is the Thanksgiving Eve, so we got to be a little honest.
We have good hair. We have good hair.
So, Kevin, I was at the VA clinic at 7 o'clock this morning and was running a little bit late. I got there at 0700 like a good Marine, but I did not do my hair. So thank you for noticing, Kevin. I appreciate that.
He says, look above the eyes. The bangs are positioned in exactly the right way with you and Keith. Look, Judah, both you guys tilt your head to the side here. Multiple viewers and listeners are asking.
No, they're not.
I'm look.
One of these days, I'm going to get off of my chair.
You should.
And look, I believe you.
No, look, literally.
I believe you.
He says, seriously, look above the eyes.
I believe you.
Yeah.
I believe you.
I'll throw this to you guys.
Now I got to get up. Do I got to get up into the green room and do my hair?
No, you're fine. The windswept look here. We can turn the fan on and blow the hair if you want. Do you want that?
No.
Okay. When the AC was out, we had fans installed in here. We can turn them on.
No.
All right, I'll throw this comment to Neil Williamson. You're watching the program. Neil and Carly Wagner, welcome to the broadcast. Georgia Gilmer, Bob Yarborough, Aaron King, welcome to the show. Dr. Downey, Olivia Branch, the Queen of Keswick. Love you, Olivia Branch. Albert Graves, love you too, homie. Thank you kindly for watching. Taylor Sutton, hello, welcome to the program. Trevor Knight, David Puso, Dean Russell, Earl Smith, one of the kings of Scottsville, Brittany Gray, one of Stanley Martin's finest, Catherine Lochner, Jeffrey Bibb, Todd Rath, just a mayor and cider virtuoso. The Stanton real estate investor, Steph Liskey, watching the show.
I was in Richmond and had one of his ciders at a brewery.
I want to throw this to Neil Williamson. Neil, I got a question for you. Keith Smith and I have a proposition bet. I love prop bets. I'm a huge fan of prop bets.
I think you like to bet, period.
In fact, I do. There's a lot of prop bets that are going.
Have you ever been to Vegas?
I've been to Tahoe. I have not been to Vegas. I've did casinos in New Orleans. One of the reasons I like the prop bets is that because it requires thinking quickly on your feet, hedging risk, and determining outcomes that are likely or unlikely in the spur of the moment. Those are some of the things that I
got you. I'm listening.
So this is the prop bet, Neil Williamson, we have, is upzoning. Will council...
Zoning rewrite.
Draft zoning ordinance.
Zoning rewrite.
Okay, whatever you want to call it. DZO, draft zoning ordinance, upzoning,
ABC,
zoning rewrite.
FG.
Yeah. They need an effing brand for this, right? They need a brand. So here's the bet, Neil. Will the zoning rewrite be approved by council before close of business December 31st? Will it happen in 2023 or will it happen in 2024?
We got a second problem.
We have a bottle of booze on that bet. I'm curious,
That's
Neil.
That's a Jerry and I bet.
That's what me and Keith have. We have multiple other prop bets. Judah Wickower and I have a prop bet on who will be named the mayor.
And I bought into that.
And he did. He bought into it. Who will be named the mayor in the first meeting of January? Judah Wickower, he picks Michael Payne, a.k.a. Major Payne. I give them nicknames. They have nicknames. We have the Snookinator. I bet Juan Diego Wade. JDW is his nickname. Juan Diego Wade. He says Natalie Ostrin.
Well, I happen to agree with you, but in order to end, not but in order to be...
Why can't you say but?
I don't know. My daughter tells me not to say it.
You could say but.
My daughter tells me not to say, by the way, she did very well on her test.
You want to... Oh, fantastic. I want to hear about that. She took her real estate test.
Only one half of it. She has to take the other half. So she passed the Virginia half. Now she has to take the national half.
Okay, we'll get to that in a second. He says it's Natalie Ostrin. Some of our viewers and listeners have nicknamed her Nat GPT for a variation of Chat GPT. Nat GPT. Hey,
I'm listening.
We kid because we care.
I'm listening.
So there's three prop bets. Who's going to be the mayor in January? I say JDW. He says Ostrin. He says Major Payne. And then the other prop bet is upzoning going to be approved in 2023 or approved in 2024? Neil, what do you think?
You know what we should do? I don't know if we can do this. Can we put a poll out on one of our
Oh yeah.
One of our feeds?
We can do that.
Yeah, that'd be really good. That would be really two good polls to throw out there to see what the viewers and listeners think on that.
Yancey says every Marine carries a tin of Dapper Dan.
They do. They do.
What is Dapper Dan? Is that pomade?
It's pomade, yeah. Dapper Dan is kind of a reference to Brother, Where Art Thou?
Yeah.
Clooney was a Dapper Dan.
He was always looking around for it.
To say I watched that movie regularly would be correct.
Do you have a man crush on Clooney?
Of course.
Okay, there we go. That's his man crush. Chuck Ramey says JW literally uses the nickname JW. JW has a great natural look. From Chuck Ramey, giving you some props there.
Thank you.
So what are we thankful for? Anybody chiming in on that?
What are you guys thankful for? Put it in the feed. Put it in the feed. Who do you think is going to win these bets? Put it in the feed. Judah, you're sticking with Major Payne on that one, huh?
That would make sense. I can see that he's been taking a little bit of a leadership role, at least in meetings I've been with him for, kind of stepping up a little bit. It could be that, but you know how this process works, right?
Neil Williamson, I love you so much. Go ahead, Keith.
Yeah, I'll get the seriousness out real quick. You know how this works, right? This is just negotiated amongst themselves.
Oh yeah,
right? I had a real.
The councilors picked the mayor.
I'll leave the name.
Is your phone ringing?
It is.
Are you calling somebody?
No.
Looks like you're calling somebody.
No, my phone is locked.
Neil Williamson says, in my humble opinion, the CEVO plans together zoning ordinance will pass prior to the close of the year. So
Yeah.
he says Keith will win that bet.
Well-
He also, Neil Williamson says JDW, uses JDW will be mayor, and Nat GPT will be the vice mayor, Neil Williamson says.
Now that I agree with.
You have Nat,
I know.
You have Nat GPT as the winner.
I know. But
He has major pain.
but
I have JDW.
But Natalie becoming vice mayor makes sense. That gives her an opportunity to be in somewhat of a leadership role, from a board management perspective, that makes a ton of sense, right? I just hope Juan Diego has the time and ability to take it. So
Bill McChesney, the mayor of McIntyre, I agree with Neil. Lloyd is becoming the Darden Toe of this council. Darden Toe, the lone Republican on council years ago, was always making reasonable common sense proposals. As the old white man on council, Lloyd is now in the shadow of a great man a local park is named for.
So I want to give a shout out to Lloyd.
Lloyd's a great guy. See Lloyd all the time.
You may or may not agree with what he has to say, and that's not the comment I'm about ready to make. So here you go. I'm thankful for him.
Lloyd Snook, if you're watching this program, someone DM Lloyd, text Lloyd. I could text him right now. Lloyd Snook, you have brought common sense and order, and you've help make government boring again. I remember during the circus of the previous regime, I said on this program, and I think Neil Williamson quoted me in one of his articles on the Free Enterprise Forum. Neil, I'm on your website all the time. I want Charlottesville government to run efficiently and in the background. That's what I want.
Boring is always good.
Always good for government.
Particularly local government.
Particularly local government.
It's always good. But we've got a lot of big stuff in front of us, right? All the way across the board, right? Different jurisdictions and so forth and so on. And a shout out to Lloyd, and I've told this to his face, and I'm going to say it publicly. He was the right person at the right time. It needed the leadership skills. Not that the other folks didn't have it, but he definitely had the skills and the ability to go ahead and kind of get that ship back to the calm waters, the boring waters on it. And, and believe me, I've not that I'm the mayor of the city, but I understand when you're chairperson of certain organizations, it's time you've done what you could do with this organization. It's time to hand it off to somebody else.
He's been the mayor for back-to-back terms.
Yeah, and he got the
He
ship.
righted the ship.
He righted the ship, got it to boring. Again, you may or may not agree with some of his comments or his decisions,
but that's okay.
But anybody in a leadership position is never going to make everybody happy.
Right. I mean, that's one of the things we've learned from this talk show.
But you have to respect them for their leadership and stepping up and taking it. So my hat's off to him. Kudos to him. And if I am sure he's going to get some public comment or public accolades at the end of the year, assuming he's not mayor again. Which it kind of appears that that's not going to be the case. I
mean, that would be 3 straight terms. I don't see that happening.
No, nor I don't think he wants that. This is, the man's. I had a 1.5 hour meeting with an elected official from Albemarle County. We're prepping for this, which Neil's going to be part of, prepping for this developer incentive roundtable between the full planning commission, the full board of supervisors, and 10 stakeholders, and Neil's going to be one of those stakeholders at the table. So I'm not going to be present. I'm going to be out of the country at the time, and so one of the board members are picking up the moderating role, and I spent an hour and a half with that person going over it, and it's going to be pretty awesome. So I'm kind of thankful that these tough conversations are moving forward. We may not
have some fill-in hosts.
We have some fill-in hosts coming up. Yeah. I'm excited about that. You'll kind of see them on postings coming. I don't want to talk too much about it right now because we haven't set dates yet and stuff like that. But there are going to be some folks sitting here. Yona and I are doing our annual 2 weeks away, having Christmas with the grandkids early.
Christmas with the Cranks?
Excuse me?
Have you seen the movie Christmas with the Cranks?
No.
Oh, it's a great movie.
I
watched it this morning.
Really? What time did you get up?
We wake our 11-month-old
right.
wakes up at 4:45 in the morning.
And watches a movie. Good for
4:30,
you.
4:45 in the morning. I mean, that's what happens.
But
and
back-
then we turn on like it's Christmas movie season. In fact, we watched Christmas with the Cranks this morning, and we watched half of Home Alone 2 before I got to the office.
Oh man.
So
Literally.
I want to get back on.
Let's give Ricardo Cruz your answer.
Hey,
props.
Ricardo.
He says,
Hope-
"Happy Thanksgiving."
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving. Good luck with the recovery on the surgery, brother. We're praying for you, and he had a little bit of knee surgery done. So,
Kevin Yancey, Juan Diego Wade is the vice mayor now. JDW is the vice mayor now. So I'm throwing that out there. He asked that question. JDW
oh yeah, got it.
is the vice mayor now.
So those who watch the show know that I am a proponent
Okay.
of housing, of more housing.
You?
I'm a proponent.
Are we going to talk about Carr essentially lobbying with this new website, CVilleHousingForAll.com?
So I haven't seen it and looked at it. So to be honest with you, but good for them. It's about time.
Oh.
It's about time to take and I'm probably going to get voted off or something. Vote us off the island. Yeah, probably. But it's good that they need to take the risk and take public, positions on stuff. It can't all rest on Neil's shoulders to do this. Regardless if you agree with the opinion or not, we are the largest trade organization in the area. We do housing. This is what we do. We help people buy and sell. We do our why. Right, one of our whys is my why anyway, is we help with one of the 3 essentials for a trip around the sun: food, clothing, and shelter.
Uh-huh.
This is important, and they should take a position on it. So I'm glad that they do that. But what I wanted to talk about real quick, so if you have any, I came across, and you guys are going to laugh your tush off, AARP.
Okay, AARP.
Which
okay.
I am a longtime member of.
Good for you. Nothing wrong with that. You get a lot of good discounts there.
I do, but they did a really awesome report. So if you really want to take a look at the missing middle, discovering and developing the missing middle is the name of the report. It's about, it's double-sided, 38 pages long. They do a really good job of explaining the pros and cons of what, in essence, is what the zoning rewrite is. This missing middle discussion that's happening. So I would suggest folks look at it because they have some historical contexts in here on how things were done in the 1800s and the early 1900s before exclusionary zoning happened. In the late 60s, in our area, I believe it was 69 or 72, depending on the jurisdiction that you're at, that exclusionary zoning happened. Prior to that, there was none, right? And the market did it on its own. It did this missing middle. It did these small apartments, duplexes, and so forth and so on. So it's a great thing. It's called AARP, Discovering and Developing Missing Middle. What it is, where it went, and why it's needed. Housing options for all ages. They capitalize all ages.
All ages, yes. AARP. Well, a lot of folks don't realize that you don't have to be of a certain age to join.
You do not. To get discounts, you do, though.
Oh, really?
I think so. I don't know. I've been a member since I was 55.
I think if you're a member of I'm not a member, but I've been told that if you're a member of AARP, you still get the discounts.
And one of the great things about this...
Am I wrong on that?
I don't know, but one of the great things about this report, it's very much so Marine Corps proof. It has all kinds of pretty pictures and showing what things look like. And
Keith likes pictures.
I love pictures. Pictures good. Showing how there's actually, I'm trying to be serious here. There's actually pictures of areas like in Richmond and out west where this was done in the 1800s, in the early 1900s, and how it looks like it. So I encourage people. It's a good easy read.
Follow-up question on the zoning rewrite. Grayson, we appreciate you.
We got 2 yeses. Neil's a yes, and I'm a yes by the end of the year.
Yeah, Neil thinks it's going to happen. What do we have?
He wasn't always like that, though.
What do we have? Well, Neil lost a bet to you on this.
Yeah, well, it was similar bet. It wasn't the approval. It wasn't the approval on.
What was the specifics of that?
I can't remember. I can't remember, to be honest with you.
It was tied to zoning rewrite. I thought it was approval by summer, was it not?
Well, it's not approved.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. No. Well, I would have shaved my mustache off. So
And he
apparently
brought
I won't.
a top shelf bottle of
Yeah,
booze,
I
right?
can't remember I can't remember what the bet was. Neil will remember it.
You have. I mean, let me look at the agenda.
can't remember-
What are there?
I can't
3
remember.
meetings left? I believe there are 3 meetings
So
left for council.
Yeah. So there's 3 meetings left. I know that the council's trying to schedule 2 more meetings before the end of the year. So my suspicion what will happen is on the 5th, they'll have a public hearing.
Well, I don't think they'll make a decision during the public
They
hearing.
will not make a
Because
decision.
that would marginalize anyone who spoke during the public hearing.
Well, there's also a process, right? So
So
you know,
basically, you need that approval to happen at the second meeting in December.
well, from what I understand, I think they're talking about sliding an extra meeting in somewhere in there.
Really?
I don't know. That's what the
Insider information over there from the
that's
distinguished
a
gentleman.
little bit of a rumor mill that I've been
Is
hearing.
that to help you win this bet?
Could never be that. Never be that. Never. Maybe yes, but no. So look, the process is it'll go the same, I think, as the planning commission process, right? I think maybe that was the bet if the planning commission could pick it up. I can't remember what we bet my mustache on, but they'll have the public hearing. It'll be very long. Right, just like the planning commission.
Boatload of people speaking.
There'll be boatload of people speaking. It'll run through. They'll listen. They'll take notes on it. Then they'll bring back then they'll close the public hearing. So this is logistically an important thing, Jerry, because once that public hearing is closed, unless the full board decides to reopen it again, which generally doesn't happen, the commission, the public hearing is closed and then it goes back to the council for debate, right? So that's generally the process, right? You have like a rezoning process. You would have a public hearing, close the public hearing, it goes to debate amongst the elected body, then they either make a decision, they defer it, or whatever action that they take. Because if they have to reschedule, and Neil, correct me if I'm wrong, if they close a public hearing and they have to reopen it, I believe there's advertisement requirements that they have to advertise, which will definitively put us past December. So it's interesting how this public hearing will go, right? If it gets formally closed, right, then they're going to try to make a decision before the end of the year.
This question or comment.
Did that make any sense?
Oh, that made great sense. Grayson says, I've heard many commenters on this show say even if upzoning is going to be approved, it's going to have little to no impact from creating additional inventory.
That would be me.
Yeah.
And so we'll add some clarity to that.
And Neil says city council has already been rewriting the ordinance via the work sessions. All the revisions are reducing the intensity of use.
Correct. So it's an interesting question, right? Because I don't know, and Neil would know this more than me. I don't know if it needs to go back to the city council. Not that they would do this. They could send it back to the planning commission, right? I don't think they would. I don't think they're going to do that. Look, so
that would be the definition of red tape.
Well, not necessarily. It would, because then what happened, there would be more public hearings, more public
red tape
involvement. No, I think there'd be more engagement. But my definition of red tape maybe is a little bit different than yours.
Okay.
But back to the question about
Miss Soto watching the program.
No, thank you. Thank
Philadelphia.
You very much.
She says, Happy Thanksgiving to the
thank
three
you, Philadelphia.
of you.
Philadelphia.
Thankful for this program and all y'all's voices. Thank you for saying that.
Philadelphia is
we
an
appreciate
awesome human being.
She's a fantastic educator.
Fantastic educator. We all grow up, become as awesome as she is. We'll be doing something in our life. So there's going to be a bell curve here, guys, of this thing. It's important to understand if it gets approved before the end of the year, there is going to be a long runway before anything gets implemented. It's going to have to go through the internal process. How does this thing actually work? Even though it's all written out in there, how is it actually implemented in there? The public, the developers, the builders are going to have to all figure this out and learn it together. It's going to take a while before anything starts changing. So you think of January 1, there's going to be all these applications for building permits, that's not going to happen. It's also not going to happen because I think land is a little bit too expensive.
Definitely.
So this is, and units are expensive. This is going to be a very slow bell curve up. So as units start coming along, and we have no idea how long that runway is, it's going to end up hitting some sort of mass where prices for dirt are going to start stabilizing a little bit, maybe not, and who knows how long that could be 10 years before it starts plateauing and then coming back down on the other side. I'm talking about inventory, guys, not price point. I do not see prices. I mean, we would have to increase our inventory by some obscene 100 percentages in order for it to impact inventory, strictly from a supply perspective. Now, there could be a lot of other things that impact it, right? I was thinking about the silver bullet and the silver buckshot.
Robert Liberty.
Robert
My
Liberty.
boy.
Yeah, so this morning
I feel like I know Big Rob.
at 2:30
In fact, he's come on Real Talk.
He has come on Real Talk.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this at 2:30 this morning because again, at a certain age, you get up a couple of times.
So you were taking a pee?
Something like that.
Okay.
And I was thinking about that before I went back to bed. And, how do I explain the difference between a silver bullet and a silver buckshot? But this missing middle, or this rezoning, could only be a couple few of those pebbles or those BBs or those silver buckshots. In a buckshot, it's going to require so many more in order for it to be effective.
Neil.
That took a half an hour to think
No,
that
that was good. Neil's offering fantastic commentary here.
I didn't think it was that good. But anyway.
He says the CVille Plants Together zoning will be an evolution
Yeah.
and not revolution. Mm-hmm. And he also highlights the yeoman's work of the Charlottesville city attorney, and that the city attorney, let me read it verbatim what he said, the city attorney has been riding herd on this process to make sure they do not have to do additional public hearings or advertisements.
Yeah, so that answered my question. So they've really dialed this down, make sure all the legal boxes are checked on it. I'm even more convinced by the end of the year that this is
Mayor McIntyre says there's not a chance in HE double hockey sticks that the Planning Commission wants this back.
No, would they?
No, dude.
Yeah, I'm done. Let's move on.
Yeah.
But I'm going to quote the mayor who sat in one of these chairs some months ago, and we were talking about this. I think it was him, and I can't remember who joined him on that show.
It was
It wasn't
it was
Michael
a
Payne.
candidate. I'm drawing a blank. Bob
Oh, that's right. It was Fenwick.
Fenwick.
That's exactly right. It was.
Yeah,
It was Fenwick.
Bobby Fenn.
And there was
Bobby Fenwick.
There was a good back and forth.
Big balls,
debate.
Bobby Fenwick.
There was a good back and forth
Yeah.
debate about that. You should go back and look for it. But what the mayor said is exactly what's going to happen, right? I think they're going to get this adopted. It is nowhere near perfect. And as it goes through, they're going to start ratcheting different things up. They're going to start bringing things in and start taking things out, because the implementation of this is going to be in the control of the city, right? And what gets ramped up and back. And if they change it, then that's what's called is a ZTA, and that's called a zoning text amendment, which, by the way, is similar as a rezoning action and has to go all the way back to the beginning and do it. So I know they're trying to get this as close to perfect as possible, but it never will be. The market will change. Things will go ahead. This will get tweaked over time and ratcheted up one way or the other. But guys, you're not going to on January 1 all of a sudden have 5,000 extra units. It is going to be a long, slow roll, and it may not ratchet up at all. If prices don't change, it probably will not.
McChesney says that some of the medium density properties near me, at least 3 of them, sold for over $1 million each.
Yeah. So that.
Ann Clark Ramey watching the program. We love when you watch the program, Ann Clark Ramey.
So
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving,
Thank
everyone.
you, guys. I always enjoy the shows. I'm thankful for the roof over my head.
There you
I
go.
feel very, very blessed.
There you go. And Bill, happy Thanksgiving to you, and I'm thankful for your participation in the show on a regular basis. A lot of that stuff could be 1031 folks just buying and sitting and holding, right? But look, it depends on the where, right? And you've got to look at this flum, right, on this map. And if Bill is next to some of these C3s and C8s and C5s, whatever the heck the acronyms are that are going to have multi-rise thing, they may step up a little bit. But guys, Google a little bit. Google what's happening to the multifamily housing in this country. I don't think it's here yet, but you're starting to see a softening in the apartment permits and the apartment thing. That's the real area as far as housing is concerned.
Because it's fairly saturated.
It is extremely saturated. So when you start looking at balance sheets and ROIs and projections, some of these projects may not pencil out, particularly at probably 8 to 10% for construction money right now, for acquisition and development money. So it may just sit tight until money's a little bit cheaper before it goes in there. So this stuff is just not going to happen overnight.
Folks are highlighting the sensitivity zones that have been created. The sensitivity zones, for example, one around the 10th and Page neighborhood. And the sensitivity zone was created by government officials and consultants to basically, with the thinking of gentrification prevention.
Sure.
It was a unique twist or wrinkle included within the last handful of months, frankly, in response to Phase 3 Dairy Market. That's why we saw that chitter chatter, the sensitivity zones. This question has come into the feed, which is a good one. If once the zoning rewrite, as Keith likes to call it, is approved, which type of new housing does he see to be first?
Oh, great question.
And second, most prolific? That is a great question. First, would you say the granny cottage, the basement apartment? That would be the easiest transition, right? The quickest transition?
Yes, and maybe no. Yes.
Maybe yes, maybe no.
Yeah. So I mean, from a look, what I've got it in my truck. I didn't bring it with me. It's 400 pages long, and that's an old version. I didn't want to spend an extra $300 printing the updates and all this kind of great stuff in it. If you open up a zoning ordinance, that's only one half of the equation. The other half of the equation is the site plan portion of it. What do you actually have to do to build it? So from a zoning perspective, yes, the low-hanging fruit would be ADUs, auxiliary dwelling units.
There's different kinds of ADUs. A lot of folks think the ADU is like a new detached structure in the backyard, like a new structure created. An ADU could also be the basement apartment conversion.
That's correct.
That's probably is that the most cost affordable?
Yes, and maybe no, yes, and that's the place I was trying to go.
Okay.
Go with this is folks that watch the show know I'm part of a national cohort on this to work through ADUs, auxiliary dwelling units, how to use them for the affordable housing space or the housing affordability space on it. And I'm on it from my development building expertise and so forth and so on and whatever, and the fact that I'm part of a land trust. The problem with the basement end of it is now you've got to, because now you're going to have to comply. These illegal ones that are out there, those are not going to be able to happen as easily anymore, right? Okay. So now if you have to legally do this, you have to have certain head heights, right? You got to be 7'2".
This is good knowledge right here.
Yeah, you got to be 7'2", from bottom of whatever you have on your ceiling to your floor, right? A lot of basements around here are not that tall, right? So that's kind of telling you need about an 8-foot basement. It's not a normal basement for older homes in here. New construction homes, definitively, you would have that height. You've got that. You've got to have at least two forms of egress out. The door outside, that probably covers as one. The bedroom has to have its own form of egress. This is if you got a fire, you've got to be able to get the heck out, right? So there's a whole kind of criteria for that. There's always workarounds for this. It's just a matter of money, right? The other thing is you're going to have some sort of 2-hour fire separation, because the building side of the equation, which is not in this 400 pages, the building department has their own series of criteria. This was the problem out in Seattle and Portland when they adopted this stuff. They never actually dug into the building code side of things. It's not included in any of this stuff. It's just strictly planning. Now I'll go back to the detached ADU. Oh, by the way, on the interior ADU, depending upon how this all gets interpreted and enacted, and I use that word interpreted well because staff interprets this 400 pages, right? You may have to have it secondly metered, water metered, and you may have to have it secondly electric metered. So now you got to bring separate water, which I don't think that's going to work, but definitively separate power. How are you handling your waste, right? So this isn't as simple as this 400 pages says. I hope this is helpful.
No, it's very helpful.
Frankly, a detached ADU, auxiliary dwelling unit, would be easier to build because you've done enough renovations in your life, right?
I've never seen a renovation come in under budget.
There you go. If you think it's going to cost you $1, it will cost you $2. Absolutely.
$2.50.
If you're lucky, $2.
Yeah.
Right? So an existing ADU is new constructions. It's more known. It's also super expensive. Price per square foot is substantially higher than if you were to build an 1,800 or 2,000 square foot house. And why is that, Jerry?
Because it's the same process.
It's the same process.
Yeah.
You're still doing water and
Right.
sewer connections. You're still doing kitchens.
Except it's extremely small.
And it's small. So the price per square foot is
I
usually.
learned so much from you. 5 years of getting a master's, a PhD in real estate and development.
I thought you were going to say bullshit.
No, little ears. Neil Williamson says, I'm thankful for all those people who support the Free Enterprise
There you
Forum
go.
and keep me employed tracking local public policy. I am thankful for the Free Enterprise Forum as well. The Free Enterprise Forum is a stand-up, fantastic, A-plus content hub, and Neil does yeoman's work. He is often streaming and watching multiple government meetings at the same time, and I am on his Twitter account, I'm on his website, and I'm constantly following the content that he creates.
If you haven't donated, you need to donate to the man.
Donate.
Yona and I do it every year. Wish we could do more than what we do, but we do it every year. And I'll just say this: even if you don't 100% agree with some of the results, you want to donate because you want somebody there communicating
100%.
what's going on. Yeah, this world we live in right now where people go into corners because they maybe don't like the way something was said.
Oh,
or
who knows
disagree
that
with-
more than yours truly?
Yeah, to do that, we need to stop that.
Amen, brother.
The fact that you may not agree with somebody or whatever doesn't mean you got to vilify them. So,
There you go.
Not that I'm saying anybody's vilifying Neil, but donate to the man. He definitely deserves it.
Comments coming in fast and furious right now. Keith has had a BS degree for a very long time.
And who said this?
This is the mayor of McIntyre. The mayor of McIntyre.
My mouth's moving.
There are 3 multifamily projects that are still dragging. The one off Buena Vista, the one near Park Street Christian
Yeah.
Church,
Yeah.
and the one in Seminole Square where the Giant Food was located.
Look, thank you for the BS comment. I take that as a
Badge of honor.
As a badge of honor.
Yeah. It's a skill. It's undoubtedly a skill.
We don't.
Johnny Ornalis, Capasa Chico. It's
Capasa.
great to
Good.
see you this morning, Johnny.
Same here, brother.
Happy Thanksgiving, Johnny.
Happy
I
Thanksgiving.
sincerely enjoy your company and seeing you, Johnny Ornalis. And I am so very, very excited for the grand opening of Mexicali on West Main Street in the Old World of Beer location.
Looking forward to it.
Amen.
And thankful for what they're doing out in Zion's Crossroad with El Mariachi. I said that one right. I'm still working on his new restaurant. I haven't quite got that pronunciation correctly. But look, I'm going to throw something out here. We're all talking about all this stuff, right? If somebody really wants to see housing increase through this zoning rewrite, through this upzoning, through this whatever the heck we want to call it on it, the question I'm asking everybody over at City Council and elected officials, do you have the resources to actually do this, to actually process this? We built we meaning the land trust, just to put this in perspective, we built 4 2 duplexes, 4 units on Nassau Street back in 2019, moved people in 2019, and we still haven't gotten back our bond money.
How is that possible? How is that legal?
Well, that's a great question. I don't know. Yes.
Judith. That's what put go ahead. I don't speak for you.
That's how
But I'm
dad and
gonna
his partner went out of business.
I'm sorry.
That's how my dad and his partner went out of business.
Oh yeah,
with their-
sure. We're lucky. It's only about $18,000.
How much was? Can I ask?
It
Millions.
was.
Millions. I'm sure.
I don't know about millions, but there were a lot of them, and it was definitely, I think, in the hundreds of thousands.
Yeah.
How the heck
Well,
is that?
I have personally put up millions and millions of dollars worth of bonds. It has always have been. It's been as long as I've been doing it.
How is that legal?
3.5. I don't know if I have the answer to that, but I also know that it's always been super difficult to get it back. Look, they have. I don't want to get down that road of it so much, but my point is, if they don't have enough staff to take care of some problems here, right? How the hell are they going to have the staff to take care of this, right? So how is that process going to go? Are we going to hire more people? How is this going to work? Because there's a reason why. There's a reason why 24 to 25% of all new construction units built is cost for red tape.
24%.
I rounded up to 25.
100. Yeah, let's do it. $400,000. Good luck finding a $400,000. $800,000.
This is nationwide.
Let's call it $800,000 new construction in
then-
Albemarle County.
So then 25% of that.
Can you do that quick math?
No,
real
I
quick?
can't.
Yes, you can.
No, I can't.
200K.
Yeah, but that's
As it gets higher, it gets lower.
yeah. That's
number.
not a fair
Yeah.
representation.
400 and 100 is a better
Let's use
representation.
the stats that they get.
400 and 100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but the bottom line is, this is part of the reason why it's that way. So if anybody thinks this stuff is going to crank out overnight, to Neil's point, it is not. I don't think, and staff could say they're trying to do this, but they're having a hard time managing what's on the table now. Forget about if things start upticking.
Right.
It's going to be a long, flat line before it starts climbing up.
Dr. Joey Anderson, welcome to the program. Thank you kindly for watching on LinkedIn. We certainly appreciate you very much. We are thankful for so much in this community, thankful for so much in Albemarle and Central Virginia. We're thankful for family. We're thankful for the ability to do what we love. We're thankful for interacting with you guys on a regular basis here through Real Talk with Keith Smith and this network. This man, you should give an update. Actually, are you here a week from today? So viewers and listeners, the I Love Seville Network will be taking an extended Thanksgiving holiday to spend with our family and our friends, and we will be off air through Monday. So we will be back on the show on Tuesday with the Jerry and Jerry Show. Are you in the saddle a week from today?
It would be Wednesday and Friday.
So you're Wednesday and Friday next
Wednesday,
week?
Friday, 2nd, we're out of town.
And then you're going to the, can I say where?
Yeah, sure, if you want to.
The Caribbean.
We go to our happy place. Mm-hmm.
Can I say?
Yeah, sure.
Saint Martin.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to Saint Martin.
Mm-hmm. Come back with hopefully a tan.
He's going to come back with a tan. He's going to come back with some bottles of rum for the bar over here.
So talk about thankful and blessed.
Yeah.
Right? I'm thankful and blessed to everybody in my life, my business life, my personal life. So Yona and I can do what we are going to do for about 10, 11 days. We're bringing both our daughters and their husbands and 3 grandchildren. We're taking them down to celebrate an early Christmas. No,
I didn't get to.
No.
Okay.
You're okay, but not that high.
Okay. Sorry. All right. Just want to make sure.
Somebody's got to work, you know.
Okay. Someone's got to work. You're right. I got to work.
But I'm super blessed. I am blessed and thankful for all the pies we hung out and we handed yesterday. Thanking to all our clients, because without them and without our partners, I wouldn't be doing this. Without them, I wouldn't be able to be taking all my 3 grandchildren, our 3 grandchildren, which we
adore,
freaking adore. I mean, I never really understood being a grandfather was so freaking awesome. It is freaking awesome. And both my son-in-laws and both my daughters and Yona's daughters, to celebrate Christmas, and all our grandkids' birthdays are in December. So we're celebrating all our birthdays together, all our Christmas together. That's our gifts to one another, is to spend time. So I'm thankful that I'm going to be able to spend some one-on-one time. And when you get to be a certain age, time becomes very important.
Very valuable.
Very valuable.
Very valuable. I'm grateful to spend the time across from you, my friend.
Yeah.
I'm
11:28. Look at
grateful.
that.
Time flies when you're having fun.
So
You're going to have some guest hosts. You'll make the announcements on your personal page.
we'll talk. No. We got two shows next.
Oh, that's right. Wednesday and Friday.
Right, unless I got fired.
No,
They got two shows.
Yeah.
Next week we'll talk about that in the middle of conversations
Okay.
for folks, and anybody. The rule is, if you're a guest host, it's dealer's choice, so they get to pick guests and topics. We'll find out if we have a show when I get back.
Okay.
But they can go ahead and do that. But I do want to wrap up real quick.
Please.
And one, let's go out and be kind to one another, particularly this next. We should be doing it, period, all the time. But let's, during this season, during this time of the year, let's go out and be kind and thankful for somebody that needs a little bit of help. Go ahead, just do whatever you can to help somebody. If you disagree with somebody, do me a huge favor. Pick up the phone and call that person and actually have a conversation with them. Engage with them in a way that it's fruitful, not hiding behind a thing. And I know we're on Facebook and we're doing all this stuff, but, on my personal thing, if you ever have something with me, my number's all over the world. Call me.
I'd say the same.
I would love to talk to you about it because, one, I'm always trying to get better. So maybe I might learn something and get better. Two, I might end up apologizing because I'm probably wrong. So I'll apologize on it. But look, if we can focus trying to be a little kinder and communicate with each other on a one-to-one basis, the world will be a lot better.
Amen, brother. You
doubt.
said it better than Judah said. No doubt too. You said it better than I could.
So if we can end our last show before Thanksgiving that way, just go out and be kind to people.
I think
and be
you just
thankful.
ended it on a high note, and in the words of George Costanza, I'm out of here.
I'm outta here.
I'm out of here. Judah Wickower, Keith Smith, Real Talk with Keith Smith, archived online at realtalkwithkeithsmith.com. Click the partners tabs and see the best of the best folks that Keith has personally vetted for anything you need from a home servicing standpoint. Judah, Keith, Jerry, so long, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Thanksgiving.
Be kind.